Today we're talking an iconic The Book of Boba Fett moment, spending some quality time with the cast and crew of the Proud Family Louder and Prouder, and so much more. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Andre. This is What's Up Disney Plus, where we talk all things Disney Plus. Few things in life make me happier than the new Star Wars series, The Book of Boba Fett. If I had one wish, it'd be to try on Boba Fett's helmet.
Personally, I'd like to take control of Jabba's old throne and become the new crime lord of Tatooine.
To each their own. Can I be your Fennec Shand? With the season underway, let's take a look at a bountiful moment from The Book of Boba Fett, brought to you by LG OLED. Life's good.
In this scene, Boba Fett is visited once again by the Hutt twins, who had just sent Kersantin as their assassin.
But no hard feelings, right? After announcing they're skipping town, the twins give Boba a larger-than-life present.
The pit finally has a rancor again, and it imprints on Boba since he's the first human it sees. Aw, such a sweet bonding moment.
I know. And with a Dolby Vision IQ on the LG OLED, we get to see every little detail of the Rancor and how terrifyingly majestic it is.
With the infinite contrast, you don't miss a thing. You can catch The Book of Boba Fett, now streaming on Disney+.
And now, here's what's new.
Olivia Rodrigo, Driving Home to You, a sour film, is streaming March 25th exclusively on Disney+.
Check out Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke in Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, an original series streaming March 30th only on Disney+.
Rescuing the World takes a pair. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, an original movie, is streaming May 20th on Disney+.
I've never been more proud to be part of this next family gathering.
My abuela's house this Sunday?
No. Although, yes, tell your abuela I will be there this Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm talking about the Proud Family.
The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, follows the adventures and misadventures of newly 14-year-old Penny Proud and her Proud family as they navigate modern life with hilarity and heart.
Now we're so excited to welcome the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder executive producers, Bruce W. Smith and Ralph Farquhar. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. It's a pleasure.
Yep, glad to be here.
This is very surreal for us right now.
Yeah, we both are fans of the Proud Family. It was actually, not only did I watch it when it first came out, but when we got Disney Plus, it was actually one of the first series I binge watched, so.
Oh, we're just as excited to bring it back. Ralph and I both knew that our show had unfinished business.
We've been trying to get back for the past 15 years.
Well, now's the right time, honestly.
So what can both returning and new viewers expect?
It will definitely be louder. I think the main thing to expect is a continuation of what we did before. The Proud Family is an unapologetically Black TV show. You know, that's what it is. You're going to see real brothers and real sisters on this show. We got some new characters coming. You know, we got a slightly new look. We got a slightly new theme song. So I think it's going to be refreshing and exciting for our old audience and a revelation to the new generation.
We always wanted to make sure that we displayed a spectrum of the Black experience, which is something that you just didn't get in the early 2000s, you know, especially in animation. And so that's when I just sort of, you know, collaborated with Ralph and said, listen, this is what I want to do. I mean, this is an African-American animated sitcom, and bringing those characters in, they're people that we all grew up with and stories that we all know.
And it was so authentic and specific,
Yeah.
and that's why so many people were able to relate to it, because you don't see that type of authenticity in storytelling, especially in animation. Where do we find Penny and the family at the start of the new series?
We played her as a tween. You know, I see there's a lot of discussion. How old is Penny? Well, we played her like 12, 13-ish back then. So now she's 14 for sure. At this point, they're still in junior high, but they're like 9th grade. So they're like the seniors of Willie T. Ribb's middle school now, right?
Yeah.
So they got it going on. And there's going to be some new kids that move into the neighborhood. And that's when the drama and comedy begins.
And also, you know, it's a lot of your returning characters. I mean, it's, you know, Oscar at his most Oscarly.
Oh my gosh, I am here for this. You have no idea.
Trudy has expanded her business. Brother Bobby is still there. And obviously Sugar Mama, you know.
Oh
Sugar
my
Mama
gosh,
is sort
yes.
of the real kind of matriarch of the fold. She gets to do and say whatever she wants.
Why's my grandbaby dressed like Darth Vader?
We send her on some really wonderful adventures where we discover a whole lot about why she is, how she is.
Who she is. How did she become Sugar Mama?
How she becomes Sugar Mama.
Well, I was actually going to ask about this later, but since you're already bringing up characters, can you tell us a little bit of insight about some of the new characters that we would see on the Proud Family Louder and Prouder?
There's a couple new characters and characters that we kind of upgraded and really got into, starting with Michael, who's being voiced by E.J. Johnson. Then we brought in Billy Porter and Zachary Quinto as two new parents that move into the neighborhood with their family, which will consist of Maya and KG.
A Boogie plays KG, and Kiki Palmer plays Maya Leibowitz Jenkins.
We've introduced multiple LGBTQ plus characters, if you will. And so that's like a big thing we're going into in a more honest way. We've brought in these new characters as, two dads raising their kids. And so it's bringing that reality, which I would say 20 years ago, we weren't encouraged to talk about. Now we have that freedom.
Did you realize even back then that you were bringing about such a groundbreaking show and now you're doing it again?
We felt that each time we put stuff on the page, each time we put stuff on screen, we both would look at each other and say, well, I've never seen this before. We've never seen characters have these discussions before. I've never seen this type of design to these characters. So we knew along the way as we were in the journey and the process of making this, that we knew that it was something fun and unique and special. Now, what's interesting is that, we were producing for television. So you kind of, you're producing it in a silo. It's not like a movie where you can go into, to any theater and sneak and sort of see how people are reacting, right? Our reactions would be on the street, Ralph.
That's true, back then especially.
You know what I mean? It's like, Proud Family. Like if you wearing a Proud Family t-shirt, you wearing a crew t-shirt or whatever, like, what is it? Where'd you get that from? And then that would, start the conversation and such, right? But I think one of our producers kind of laid it out where he said he got pulled over by a policeman and pulled out his driver's license, asked him what he did. He said, I work on a Proud Family, and he let him go. Proud Family, man, that's my favorite show. Let me. So the Proud Family can get a black man out of a traffic ticket, then you're doing something special, I guess, right?
That's how you knew back then, when a show was doing well.
You're working on something that's reaching out.
So what do you hope audiences take away from the Proud Family Louder and Prouder?
I think it's amazing when kids can see themselves represented, right? The biggest takeaway from a show like this is that, we see you, we want to tell your story. So we hope that you find your story in this, you find your characters in this. And that's one takeaway that we think is essential and key to why we make this show.
We're really leaning into those stories that aren't typically told in the animation form, and it's not about an issue each week, but we don't run away from the fact of whether it's sexism, racism, issues of gender identity, along with the everyday things of growing up, coming of age, because that's what we all had to deal with growing up. We didn't grow up in that world where everything was perfect. We all grew up in a world where we had challenges. And so we're just dealing with those challenges in a fun, entertaining way.
Thank you both so much. This is an honor talking to both of you about the series, about the Proud Family, about the Proud Family Louder and Prouder, and just everything that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
paving
Thanks
the
for having
way.
us again.
Hey, thanks. Yes, love
Yes.
it.
Now we get to hear from the cast and crew of the Proud Family Louder and Prouder. Take a look.
Hey, I'm Kyla Pratt, and I'm going to put my Proud Family knowledge to the test. I am going to guess these iconic characters based only on their descriptions. Let's go. All right, tried out for high school football and made the team after going to court in front of a judge. That was Penny Proud. After they told her that she couldn't, she did.
Has a best friend named Sunset. Oscar Proud.
I'm gonna go with Trudy Proud on that one. Ding, 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 ding.
Sing with the group. This function junction. Uncle Bobby, Cedric the Entertainer.
Lost a winning shot to Wizard Kelly.
Ooh.
That's Oscar Proud.
You had me with the word lost. So as soon as whoever's losing on this show is named Oscar Proud, gets lost overseas, travels to Paris, and walks a fashion runway all in one episode.
All right. You know that one, Bruce.
Need a hint?
Oh, that's right, Puff.
My puff. That's my puff.
Oh.
I was thinking of Oscar when it said lost was on an
You
island.
look on Oscar losing. That's it. That's you.
Has a sister named Sister Spice. Is that Sugar Mama?
My mother-in-law, Sugar Mama. Yeah.
Is the older twin. Oh, the babies.
Okay, a 50-50 shot on this one.
Let me guess. I'm going to say BB.
Cece.
If you said Cece, you were like me and wrong, because it's BB.
Ah, it's BB. Oh my gosh.
Yes! I only guessed that because B comes before C. The Proud Family is so important in today's media because it's a show that anyone can relate to. We don't shy away from anything. We're not afraid. We're loud. We're proud. We address anything that we feel needs to be addressed. And, you know, we're unapologetically us.
I hope the old fans of the series will have grown right along with us and will see themselves in an older, better light. That's why we're now. We're prouder and louder.
I hope that they'll get the same lesson that they got before, that it's important to love family, that to respect each other, to laugh a lot, to love a lot, and learn a lot.
You can stream The Proud Family Louder and Prouder now on Disney+.
We brought the Book of Boba Fett home with an iconic moment and caught up with the Proud Family Louder and Prouder. That's our show.
Be sure to head on over to Disney Plus to stream all of these and more. You know, Jenny, after talking about the Book of Boba Fett, I think I would like to have a Rancor as a pet.
Okay, but imagine your pet food bill, Andre.
Yeah, but talk about a guard dog.
Okay, but you're gonna have to clean up after it.
Oh.